What's up, guys? John the Morgile here, checking in for well, just a sad day indeed, man. As y'all probably know, I've mentioned it, but I was counting on my tax returns and my stimulus money to come in the mail on the 28th, is when it was supposed to have been mailed, and it didn't show up, and we were evicted out of our house on the 28th, so we left. And what money we did have, we spent on a hotel, and that's gone, that's tapped out. Luckily, we do have a car. So basically, we are back in the street, and it's such a shame because I've got well, $1,400 coming to me for one stimulus check, and then $1,800 coming to me on the other two. So over $3,000 just in limbo. And we put out a hold mail request for the post office, and so they're supposed to be holding our mail, and it still hasn't showed up there. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. When I talked to the IRS, they told me that it was going to be anywhere from 4 weeks, up to 4 weeks after the 28th when they send it. And I guess they just have to say that. Maybe it'll be in the box any day. So we're just kind of in limbo. I mean, luckily though, thank God, you know, we do have transportation. So that's a big thing. I mean, if you take it for granted and you haven't done without a car for a long time, you know, we tend to take things like that for granted. But we've been without transportation for over a year, and we just got this car as a gift just a few weeks ago. So it really is a blessing and a godsend, because, you know, if worse comes to worse, we could be out of the rain and sleep in the car. Of course, the car was shipped here from Phoenix. Big shout out and thanks to Richard and Priscilla. It was shipped here on like a car transport, and it made it all the way from Arizona to Kansas without any incident. And the day that it got to Kansas, I guess it was the night before we got the car, some homeless guy was like asking the truck driver for change, or at least this is the story I was told. I don't believe the things I'm told much anymore, I just don't. But allegedly some homeless guy was begging for change, and the truck driver told him, he said, "Look man, I use cards, I don't even have any cash, I don't have any change." And so allegedly the guy got mad and threw a rock at the car. So the back windshield is busted out. And I'll tell you, the entire time I've been in Kansas, it's maybe rained 5 or 10 times for the last year and a half. And since we got the car with no rear windshield, it has literally rained like every day almost, like all day, all night. And so now, of course, we have all of our things in the car, or what little things that we could, you know, pack out of the house.
They're all damp. Everything's
damp. So when I asked the truck driver, I was like, "Well, don't you have insurance?" And he's like, "Well, I do, but it'll probably cost me $400 or $500 for the deductible." He said, "I'll just give you a couple $100 and we'll call it even." Well, the guy only got paid $800 to drive the car from Phoenix to Kansas, and he offered me $200, and he told me that if it was going to cost more to fix the windshield, that he would pay the difference. And the new windshield and insulation is going to be about $350 plus tax, so like $400 at least. And I just said, no, you know, I'm not gonna hold him to that, because that would be half of what he got paid for delivering it, and I just feel like that would sort of be taking advantage. But you know, at the same time, I don't really buy what he told me. I think he made a mistake, and he doesn't want his insurance to go up. And I think that he just gave me some half-assed story in order to cover his own tracks for whatever reason. But that's neither here nor there. The bottom line is we do have the car. It's a 1999 Honda Accord, which honestly, I've always loved that car, man. Like growing up, The late 90s model Accords were just super nice, man. I had a couple friends that had them, and I was always super jelly. And so this is the first time anybody has ever given me a car. And so, you know, I gotta say, that's a huge blessing, man. It really is. I don't know what we would have done without it, honestly. Like, the timing couldn't have been better. Certainly didn't want to lose our home. Certainly didn't want to have my tax return and stimulus check not arrive in time to pay my landlord the money that I've been promising him. But that's the way that that's the way that the cookie crumbled, man. You know, things happen for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that, and I know that the Most High will make a way for us to get exactly where we're supposed to be. I'm a firm believer that the more comfortable that you are in this world, the further you get from the path. And what I mean by the path is, well, I guess it's the struggles and it's the hardships that that test our character and build our character. If you have it on easy street all the time and everything's handed to you on a silver platter all the time, well, you don't build much character that way, and you don't get a chance to test your mettle that way. And I know that sounds a bit counterintuitive coming from a guy that was just given a car, but honestly, if that hadn't happened, we would literally be walking around on the street with our dog and our clothes on our back. So literally the car is acting as a place to store our clothing and my guitar and get us to where we're ultimately going to need to be. I've never owned a home, never owned a piece of land, never owned much more than the shirt on my back. And honestly, I don't need physical material things, but it's time, man. You know, I'm 40 now, and ever since I was, 17, 18 years old, I've been paying rent with nothing to show for it. And it's a racket. I mean, it's a never-ending, it's a hamster wheel, right? As Smashing Pumpkins said, despite all my rage, still just a rat in a cage. It's very true. But frankly, you have to have a place to live, right? You can't just wander the earth forever, which is essentially what I've been doing. When you're renting a home, it's just a matter of time to where you're eventually going to lose that home. I mean, I don't know anybody that's rented a home forever, and so one of my goals is to buy a place. And so I guess it's probably a good thing I didn't get my stimulus money and my tax return and pay rent with it, right? That would probably be pretty stupid. So I think that is probably a blessing in disguise. And so, my home, where I was born in Virginia, and so part of me really wants to go to Virginia and try to purchase property. I just spoke with a mortgage company today. As a first-time home buyer, you can get little perks and bonuses, and my credit score is 546. They said it needs to be 580 in order for them to work with me. So if I can get my credit score up a couple points, I might can get a home loan and actually do something with this. It's not going to happen just yet. So you guys, if you guys are out there, you own a home, or you've just always had a place to live, always had a place that you can go to, like if all else falls through and if the shit hits the fan, man, you've always got a place to go home, right? I've never had that. I mean, when I was a kid, my dad owned a house which he sold. I've never had that. I've never had a home that I could always know it was there. And that kind of a stability is, man, it's invaluable. Like, don't take that for granted. Like, if you have that, please just, count your blessings. Be thankful to the Most High for that sort of thing, because it is, it's invaluable. I mean, it's not just the fact that you don't have to pay rent. I mean, that's one big part of it, but it's just the peace of mind knowing that, if worse comes to worse, you can pursue your passions, right? and have that to fall back on, rather than grinding at some job that you hate in order just to make the rent. And I did that for so long, man. I did that for decades. And stumbling into flat earth around 2014, I just can't do it anymore. I mean, I know that probably sounds very childish and very irresponsible of me, and it is. But at the same time, that's the way that it is. I can never go back to the Matrix, man. I can never take the blue pill. I just can't. And so, you know, that is a blessing and it is a curse. But so, man, I'm gonna just sit here and I'm gonna play my guitar for you guys for a little while, because I've got nothing else better to do right now, and nowhere else to go. I can't sit in the car forever. My mother, whom I never really got to know when I was a kid, maybe a little bit when I was a kid, she split when I was pretty young, and I just kind of got to know my mom right around the 2017 August Great American Eclipse. Like, I moved from South Carolina to Florida, and I finally got to kind of know my mom. And she owned a little condo in Florida, a little 2-bedroom condo, and she had been talking about selling it, and I told her, what are you talking about? She owned it outright, and she wanted to sell it and go get a mortgage on something else out of state. And I told her she was crazy, because well, you know, when you've never had that, when you've never had property that is equitable, you've never had property that actually is of value to you and not a burden, not a hindrance, not a headache, not a nightmare for you, don't sell it, man. Cherish that. Take care of it. Fix it up. Plant a garden. You know, I see I'm the type of person, and call me a fool, but when we were in that hotel for almost a year here in Kansas, I tried to help everybody that I could that needed it. Like, everybody. Like, I really did. And I'm not just saying this, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I got burned a lot. Like, I had people that lost their home, and I took in, and they would pull guns on me and tell lies on me and try to get me in trouble. Like, it was really bad. But, you know, at the same time, I'll continue to try to help people. That's just the type of person I am. You know, you can, when people do you wrong, man, when people you over, take advantage of you, smile to your face and stab you in the back, you can either become bitter and jaded from that and coalesce into that sort of a vibrational state of negativity, or you can just continue doing the positive thing and trying to help people. And I promise you, if you go out of your way to help people, especially if they you over and try to hurt you, forgive them and keep on trying to help them. The Most High looks out for you, man. The Creator does. That was promised us, and I can attest to that. I can't prove it to you, but I can attest to that. The Master Yeshua promised us, if you stand up for what you know to be right, in spite of the fact that people will curse you and just demoralize you and hurt you and take advantage, the Most High blesses you for standing up for what you know to be right. And so that's something that I live by now. And one thing that I know to be right is I cannot be a slave to jobs that I hate and landlords that take advantage of me in order to pay their mortgage and build their equity up. I can't do that anymore. Honestly, I would rather live in a tent than to do that. And I totally would, but I have a little family to look after or whatever, and I care about them. Otherwise, I would have been in a tent probably a long time ago. But, you know, I don't know. I know I'm just droning on and on now, you guys, but I'm just really depressed, man. I mean, you know, when we got moved into this place on my birthday, February 22nd, wasn't really that long ago. I mean, here it is, June the 3rd or June the 4th or whatever. So it's been not even 4 months. It's been 3.5 months that we were in the place, and we're now out of it. I really like the little place. it was very much overpriced, and the landlord was just a mean asshole. Honestly, I mean, I hate to say that, but and I get it. You know, I promised him money. I promised him a substantial amount of money that I've been expecting and still am expecting. And it just hasn't arrived yet. And he thought I was bullshitting him, man. You know, he thought I was just blowing it out my ass and promising money that's never coming. And unfortunately, you know, he didn't want to wait, and he missed out. It's probably a blessing in disguise. So I guess what I'm getting at here is I'm gonna play some songs for you guys. And by the way, I do have some Flat Earth content in the works. King's Dethroned, the second half of the audiobook, is almost finished. I was actually editing that into the wee hours of this morning at the hotel, and I just had to pack it up because we had to check out. That's almost done, so that'll be out soon. And I've got the other video that's basically, I'm going to go over all of the things, or many things, that are wrong with the theory of gravity. So the Flat Earth stuff is very important to me, and it's a passion of mine, man. I mean, it is something that I don't think I will ever separate myself from. It is a part of me, and I love it. It's changed my life. It has changed me as a person, and it has put me on a path to where now I know that certain things that were promised to us by the Most High, through his prophets and through the Master Yeshua, is very true. Not a doubt in my mind. My faith is so much stronger now than it's ever been. And I know you probably look at me, oh, this homeless guy who doesn't even have a place to go, his faith is strong, what an idiot. But no, I mean, really, there's so much more to this realm than the physical, and the spiritual, to me now, is so much more important than any of the physical things or the material things. And so with that, you know, I'm not going to keep droning on, but you guys, you know, keep us in your prayers, man. Keep us in your prayers, because it's been a tough road to hoe, man. You know, part of me just wants to give up. I just like. But I know that there will be good things in the future, whether, you know, whether those rewards come in this life or in the realms, you know, beyond. I don't know. I mean, I've come not to expect much from this world and from this life. This world is unfortunately a very evil and greedy place. But I think that we're on the precipice of a big shift. I really do. I think that we, with this paradigm shift, really starting with Flat Earth and other things, revelations, I think that this paradigm shift that we have been seeding into the future is going to be very much a spiritual and metaphysical shift in this physical realm. And I wouldn't say I believe it, I know it to be true. And I don't know that we're going to see this come to fruition within our lifetimes. Maybe not. But I do know that the spiritual realms are eternal. This is temporal. This is corporeal. And, you know, stack up your treasures in heaven, man. Just like the Master said, dude, you know, don't try to hoard treasures in this world, because it'll become moth-eaten and rusted and mildewed or molded, right? But in the next realm, in the heavens, that is eternal, and the treasures that you stack up there will never be touched by any sort of tarnish or blemish or perversion, right? I don't know, I'm just gonna jam for a minute. Honestly, you guys, I stayed up all night editing, so I am very tired. I couldn't sleep, and so I just worked on that King's Dethroned all night. I am almost done with it, but I didn't get it finished. So I'm very tired. I'm very depressed. Like, I'm really worried. Like, honestly, guys, I've got so much going on. I'm really worried about my mom. There are very wicked and evil people in this world. Let me just tell you that. There's very wicked, evil people in this world. But just because they will on you and smile in your face and stab you in the back, don't follow suit with them. Like, yo, honestly, it's not worth it, man. Stay true to yourself, and just love one another, man. Love one another. That's the only thing I can say. Forgive each other, because if you can't forgive the people that are your brothers and sisters, you won't be forgiven. I mean, we've all made mistakes. I've made huge mistakes, but I don't know, you guys. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I guess I'll cut it out here because I'm so tired, and I'm sure you guys are probably sick of hearing it, but hey man, love you guys all the same. I know y'all are probably just hating some more guy right now, like what a loser that fucking guy is, but honestly, it doesn't bother me if you hate me, just as long as you know that my heart's in the right place, you know. And frankly, if I was a good capitalist and a homeowner, I probably wouldn't be a flat earth proponent, right? So there is that, right? There's got to be some reason for my loser, failure, gullible, sappy ass, right? There's got to be a reason. Because if everybody was good capitalists and homeowners, then where would we get our comic relief from or whatever, right? Because one thing's for sure, if you're ever feeling down in the dumps about your life or your situation, just look at my life for a minute, and I guarantee you'll feel better about your situation, honestly.
Say bye, guys.
Peace out, everybody. One love.